Hey guys, welcome back to the layout once again. Well, I think you can tell right off the bat, we have already two things to talk about. One of those is you can see there's lighting up above, and I know I've messed around with some lighting before, but assuming that I've already uploaded this video, I just did a full explanation on lighting on the lower level. What I have now is LED strips above the lower level, so hidden in the benchwork up above of the upper level, all around the layout, and they're all on one circuit, meaning that I can just flip on a switch and I get all the lights to come on, which is really cool, and I've been wanting to do that for a long time now. So I'm not entirely done with the lower level. We'll look around in a second. I still need to complete some of it, but turns out I'm actually kind of running out of time this week. My lights didn't come in when I expected them to, and actually later tonight, I'm heading out. We're flying to Denver. We're going to start our summer railfan adventure. We're starting in Denver, and we'll wind up flying out of LA. So a lot of cool videos to come from that. But the point is, I've got the infrastructure for the lighting set up, and we are going to continue doing that along the layout. I have some more LED strips coming in, and that'll allow me to complete that, hopefully within a few days when I get back from my trip. But then the other big thing that you're probably more interested in, well, it really helps that it's well lit too, is our brewery down here. So the only structure you see here that's like really close to completion is this main building here. This is going to be kind of like the main, actually I don't even know what this would be. If you have any ideas, let me know. But I was thinking kind of like manufacturing slash, or it's like distribution and bottling maybe, I don't know, because this is our brewery, as I said. But we're also going to have a warehouse. This is going to be our distribution center down here. And then this kit actually comes with one wall, because this is supposed to be the paper mill, but it comes with one wall that is the from the craft mill. So conveniently, we really wanted to extend this facility. Didn't know exactly how, because we didn't want the warehouse butted up against the building down here. So they gave us this, and this is going to be kind of just a background spacer building. We still got to put the windows and vents in and all that, but that'll look pretty good between these two buildings and gives it the appearance of a really a massive operation. So we haven't figured out the exact track arrangement yet, but we're working on it. Another thing that we decided to do is we're probably going to have a track out here on the side of the building, and we had these loading racks that we were actually going to use as a independent transload facility, but I think we changed our minds. We're actually going to have the loading racks a part of our brewery, again expanding the scope of this operation. We'll have some tanks over here. Obviously we're not going to use crude oil tank cars, but probably some corn syrup tank cars will head over here. They'll unload, and then we'll set up these pipes so that we somehow have a system where these are connected, and we're assuming that these tanks are getting loaded somehow. So anyway, this is looking pretty cool. I like the detailed aspect over here. The building itself, didn't really talk about that yet, but I think it turned out pretty good. We went for kind of a dark brick finish. You can see, actually my dad did that. All the window frames are all distressed as if they were painted, but it's been a while. And then we still have some detailing to do. Like we gotta add an interior wall here. We're gonna add lighting as well. And then we need all sorts of decals above the doors and whatnot. Now this end down here, we don't have 100% figured out. Originally, hold on. I think originally we thought we would have this structure here. We were going to separate the distribution portion, which is this beige building, and like kind of cut it in half. We'd have the trucking on this side and then the rail loading on the other side. And then the office separate. But I'm starting to think that the trucking might not fit over here. It might be kind of awkward to have two opposing direction loading bays. But I do still want to have an office, and actually eliminating another building here does give us a lot of space here for a parking lot, as we need trucks to be able to turn around and all that. And then we'll probably have back over here, the trucks will come out. We might have like a grade crossing right over this section here. So still need to figure that out. If you guys have any ideas, let us know. It's just a matter of making a decision. We have plenty of ideas. It's just we don't know exactly which buildings and kits to use. But anyway, the point is it's really starting to take shape with the lighting. in over here, it allows us to focus on the rest of it, which is laying down the cork and then figuring out the track arrangement as well, which should come soon. I'm about to make an order for some track, so anyway, we'll get to that very soon. Now over here is very exciting as well, because as you can see, we got in some more lighting. So this is the only section along the yard / engine facility that has lighting, so that from here on, I still need to install the lighting. That'll be really easy. I'm just waiting for my other strips to come in. But you can see down here, the lighting really helps. The colors pop and the details come out with the locomotive. So it's been a long time since we've had good lighting like this. Anyway, that's really all I have to show over here. I think in the last video we mentioned what setup we were going to have in terms of track arrangement. That really hasn't changed. I just need to order the track, so that should be pretty soon. And I'll get working on that for the next update. And let's go ahead. We'll walk down the yard, because I think there is something over here that I have not talked about yet. So if you look below, you can see I've actually started to install some cork. So this looks quite different from the other cork around the layout. This is a 1/8 inch versus 1/4 inch. So it's basically N scale cork. I just bought a big sheet of it and I've been cutting it up. It's hard to tell right now, but I just have, you can see it's kind of a narrow band towards the back of the wall, and that is the width for our 3 arrival departure tracks. The section out front, I still need to install the cork for that, and that's where our more of our classification tracks are going to go. And let's go ahead and we'll continue down that way, because I have another thing to talk about, and that is our plans for our track arrangement here. So I think for the longest time I was planning on just having 6 yard tracks plus the siding and mainline. As it turns out, I remeasured. We can have 3 arrival departure tracks, and then next to that though, in this portion, we'll actually be able to fit 4 tracks. So we'll have 9 tracks deep along the yard, 7 of those reserved for yard switching. And the reason that I wanted to take that one track out was to have a little access road down the middle. As it turns out, we'll still be able to have that. The one thing, and it's been a while since we've mentioned this, but I think originally we had planned on having an overpass across the yard, somewhere in the middle, kind of like Northtown Yard, but adding that extra track will kind of make it so that we can't have both. We can't have the overpass and the access road, because what's going to happen with the overpass is we're going to have at least one column in the middle there, and that would be right in the path of the access road. But there's a compromise. So instead of getting rid of one or the other, because I really want to have that extra track, that'll be convenient for running locomotive power that's on that end of the yard, running it back to the engine facility, or just as a general runaround track. For switching or whatever, that'll be useful. So I still want to have that track, but I also want the other 2 things. So we'll still have an access road through the middle as it'll fit, and then instead of having the overpass in the middle of the yard, we're going to move it down towards this end of the ladder, so that the overpass might be like across here, and then the access road will kind of stop before the column and then curve off towards the backdrop, or maybe out this way before it hits that support column, and will just be a series of little grade crossings there. So that's not a huge point. I don't know why I brought that up, because we haven't even done that yet, but just something that I've been thinking about, a little decision we made. We're always kind of tweaking the track work. So anyway, that's about it. One other thing, because we're on the topic of lighting, you can see we actually changed all the ceiling lighting. So we're going to get rid of those hanging lamps in a while, but the actual can lights, like you see there, originally we had these really warm white lights. We changed all those to daylight white lights, and as you can see, the color is actually very similar to the natural lighting that's coming through the window. So that really helps in the appearance of the layout as well. So just a little thing to mention. So that's it for this video. As I mentioned, if I haven't already uploaded it, there's a video on its way of the process of the lighting here and the whole setup. So there's an explanation on that. Hopefully I'll be ordering tracks soon, so I'll be working on installing that track order that I keep mentioning. That'll allow us to get the 3 furthest backyard tracks, so that's our arrival departure, and those, if we look this way, those will go through the wall there, and then if I open the door, they will actually wind up connecting to our, this is our reversing loop where that stack train's sitting. That'll actually wind up connecting to the yard, whereas right now it's connected to the main line. So I'll just have to splice that track and move it over, and then those 3 tracks will move out this way, and then the rest of that track that will be in that order will allow us to finish the engine facility as well. So we'll get all the engine facility tracks in, and that'll be really nice, just have somewhere to store the locomotives. Having the yard tracks will give me a place to park some of the cars, and then, excuse me, it'll be on to my next tasks, as I imagine, will be the upper level lighting, the track work in Newport Junction, and then I really need to finish the main line up to the staging room. But to do that, I of course need to finish the bench work that is back here in staging, and it really has not changed since the last time that we met. It's still just sitting up here. So I did cut a curve piece, you can see right there. This gives you an idea of the height disparity. So like that right there is the bottom lowest point of the layout, and that there is the highest point. So that is how much our trains climb. So it's quite a tough battle up the grade on this layout. Anyway, that is all I have. So, oh, also, before we go, in the works as well is I have a couple videos. One of them is going to be realistic programming, or like programming in realistic handling with tsunami decoders. So that's going to be kind of cool. We're going to manipulate BEMF and load compensation as well as momentum. And then there will also be a video on realistic operation with lock sound full throttle decoders. So I'll just talk about some programming stuff. So that's kind of a continuation of the DCC series that I started a little bit ago. But anyway, that's all I have, and I'll stop talking now. I feel like I'm just rambling. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.